So today I'm back again continuing with our C programming language learning. And today the point of discussion, the point of learning will be all about something more about function pointers, and then we will move to header files. So we will try to understand more about header files. So last time, if we look last time what we have read about function pointers in C. So last time what we did was we learned how can we create function pointers and use those function pointers to pass as a pass function as a parameter to another function. And uh, we look at how we will be able to do it. For example, we have created a sum function that takes two argument x and y, and it returns an integer. So if we write the code of the simple program, it will return x plus y. And inside our main function, and for example, we have another function subtract that has also integer x comma integer y, and what it will return will be the difference between two. Let's assume it is a simple program. So inside our main function, what we will write is we will create a function pointer. So the name of the function pointer is like first is what it is return type, which is an integer. Then we will type pointer and the name of the function, for example, fn name, and there is no space between them. And then the last we pass the argument it takes. So first argument is integer, second argument is integer. And this function pointer, now it's the declaration of the function pointer. Now we want to assign something to it. We will pass the sum function to it. That but not used. Now when we will call fn name, we will create two variables. One variable will be a, which is equal to 4, 5, and another variable will be b, which is equal to 6. So fn inside fn name, we can pass a comma b, and it will store the value inside a variable c. Then, as you can see, what we have done is we have passed function name as sum. So at the runtime, this sum method will get called, and the output will be the addition of both the functions, addition of both the parameters. Hash include stdio.h, and let's compile this program. And if you see, when we'll run this program, the output will be the addition of the two. And if we pass the function pointer rather than sum, we will pass the subtract function. It can take both the function because both the function has same signatures. The number of arguments are 2, the parameters of argument are of type, both are of same type integer, and the return type is also same. And this function, what do we say, function signature is also same for this specific pointer. So we can pass subtract function to it also. And then when we compile this code and run it, now it will print the difference between the two, which is -1. So we will go on something more advanced in depth about this inside this book, and we will try to understand it. So let me zoom it. So get it sorted with C standard library. Lots of programs need to sort data, absolutely. And if the data is something simple like a simple number, then sorting is pretty easy. Correct? Numbers have their own natural order, but it's not to see so easy with other data types. Imagine you have a set of people. How would you put them in order, by height, by intelligence, or by hardness? When the people who wrote the C standard library wanted to create a sort function, they have a problem. How could a sort function sort any type of data at all? Use function pointers to set the order. So what they are recommending is we can use function pointer depending upon the we can create different functions, and then we can use that specific pointer uh, to understand what sort of signature we can create for the specific function. You probably guess the solution. The C standard library has a sort function that accepts a pointer to a comparator function. Exactly, that accepts a pointer to a comparator function. So we can create a function that whose signature is similar to the comparator function, which will be used to decide if one piece of data is same as less than or greater than the another piece of data. This is what qsort function looks like. Qsort, it takes an first uh, pointer to an array, then second size t, it's a type, length, length of an array, item size. This is the size of the each element in the array. Okay, total length of the array and size of each element of an array. For example, if it is an integer uh, uh, int 16, then that 16 will be the size, and if it's in 32, then 32 bit will be the size. And then this is a pointer to a function that compares two items in the array. So the only purpose of this function is to compare only two items. If two items on that in the array is compared, then on the basis of that all the elements will be sorted. For example, you have created two structures and you are comparing them on the basis of, there's a property inside it called age, and you are comparing those only two elements in a specific array of struct on the basis of age. Then all the elements will be sorted on the basis of age. QSort function compares pair of values over and over again. If they are in wrong order, the computer will switch them. And that's what the comparator function is for, this comparator function. And if you try to understand the definition of this, it returns an integer, and the signature, the parameters they take is pointed to a void. Okay, a void pointer can point to anything. Void pointer can point to anything. This is very important point. So basically, a pointer can point to anything. That means it can store. This is a specific address which can store any value. And then that's what the comparator function is for. It will tell qsort which order a pair of elements should be in. Does this by returning three different values. If the first value is greater than the second number, then it should return a positive. Okay, first value greater than second. If the first value is less than, then it should return a negative value. If two are equal, then it should return 0. So everything is dependent on first value. For example, have an array of scores, integers. If you look like the signature of the comparator function, it returns an integer, and the parameters are of pointer to a void. It takes two void pointers given by void pointer. Remember void pointer, when we used malloc, a void pointer can store address of any kind of data, but you need to cast it to something more specific before you can use it. The qsort function works by comparing pair of elements in the array and then placing them in the correct order. It compares the value by calling the comparator function that you give it. In compare scores, constant pointer to a void score A, constant pointer void score B. Constant, that means you cannot change that value. Okay, but we can use it to compare. So now what we have done is we have a score A which is a pointer to a void, but now we are casting it to a pointer to an integer, and then we are fetching the value from it. Understood? So similar thing is going on here. Then we are returning A minus B. So A minus B is returning. So if A is greater than B, then the positive value will be returned. If A is less than B, then negative value will be returned. And obviously, if both are similar, zero value is returned. Now, qsort. First, we are going to pass scores. Second, 7, length of the items. Third, size of int. Why we use size of int? Because it defines the size of the each specific integer. Each specific, if we look at the signature of the sort function, item size, and compare scores. Clear? So this is what we want to do. We will not do for the specific array of integers. What we will try to do is for a specific structure. Okay, we will try to do it, and let's see how things will work out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create first. Let me import stdio.h. Okay. Now I'm going to create a type def extract, which is emp. Don't think I need emp here. And here what I can create is constant character pointer. Let's assume it's a name, and constant character um, department, and then the next thing would be age. And what we want to do is we want to sort on the basis of age. So inside main, let's create a main function. We want to create two structures. So EMP, EMP1, and for employee one, what we are going to do? We are going to create a name poor. Uh, the department is dev, and the age is 25. Fine. EMP2, uh, coder, department is QA, and age is 20. The next is EMP3, stream. Then the department is support, and then the age is 30. Fine. So we have created three structures of type employee. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create an array of it. So uh, EMP ARR equal to EMP1, EMP2, and EMP3. Now we have created array of out of it. Now if we are going to loop over it for, let's assume I equal to 0, I less than ARR dot uh, length. No, there is no such length, and what we can do is how we can dynamic calculate size of ARR upon size of EMP. Okay, and I plus plus. Then we can iterate over what is the error. Okay, I is first used, so that means we have to define it as int, and then we can print only the print f, or we can put the emp1 dot name. So if we are going to rmff, or now what we will do is we will compile it gcc emp.c dash o emp, and we will execute this code. So poor. So I think I have done something. I plus plus. Oh, sorry. emp1 dot name. My mistake. Change a word. ARR I dot name. So poor code stream. It is printing, but in the order in which we have inserted the elements. Now what we want to do is let's print it here. Sort. So what they are saying is we have to create a sort function. The type of the sort function, the signature of the sort function, it returns an integer. Okay, and then for example we can create the name compare, and then it takes constant, uh, it is a pointer provide element ele1 and the const void, and the second is pointer to ele2. Absolutely correct. Okay, now they are saying that we have to convert this element of type integer which we want to use. And now, so if we think about it, we have array of, okay, so we have an array of. Now qsort, in qsort we will pass this function, and we will pass the structure. So this will be the structure. We will be passing the structure to the qsort function. Now what we have to do is emp1 equal to, so first we will cast, what we will cast to pointer of emp, what we will cast ELE1, and then we will get a specific value at that. Okay. Expected semicolon. So this is ELE. What is ELE? Pointer to a void. We are casting it to a pointer to a EMP. Then we are fetching the value from it, and it is throwing an error. Expected comma or semicolon before ELE1. Before ELE1. Let me check what we have done incorrect. So integer pointer. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Not like this. Yes, like this. So now similar thing will happen for EMP2 and then ELE2. Now we have converted it to. Then what we have to return? EMP1 minus EMP1.age minus EMP2.age. Okay, we have done our work. Then we will call the QSort function. And inside QSort function, if we look at the signature of the QSort function, the first thing will be a pointer to an array. That means EMP ARR, because it will automatically point to the first element. And then the length, size t, which is the length of this specific array. And this length of this array is what we have calculated here. We can either pass 3 or we can do size of ARR by size of EMP. So it is the length of whole array, which is 3. Then the third thing is we have to pass the item size. Item size of struct EMP, correct? Then the last thing, we have to pass the signature to the compare function, and what we have called compare measure. Now we can write this code again and see what will happen. Okay, now let's compile it, run it. Coder poor stream, and coder's age was 20, poor's age was 25, and stream's age was 30. I'm very happy to write this code in C because I have never written it. So I was always able to write simple code, but it's the first time I've written such code, and I totally understand how this works. Maybe it is a small thing, but huge achievement for me. So now we understand how sorting works in C programming language. I always try to understand how can we sort a complex structure. In some programming languages like Go, this is also similar. So, for example, emp.co. Let's try it. For example, I don't remember exactly. It will be just like similar. So type emp. We will create a struct, and inside that specific structure, what we are going to do, a similar thing what we have done here, name, which is a string, and then we are going to create a department, which is a string, and then age, which is an int. Then based on that structure, so there are three methods which we have to uh, define on that specific structure. For example, on that specific structure which we have created, uh, uh, so we have to define three. First is length, I think. To be honest, I don't remember exactly. Also in this, second is uh, pointer emp. I think second is swap, and the third one is, I don't honestly remember. Let's check over the internet. Sort in Golang. Int. I don't want to start int. Less. Less. Yes. Yes. The third one was less. No, the third one was less. Pointer to emp, and third one was less. And for you can see the signature for less. Uh, it takes int I comma int j, basically indexes of two element, and that will return a bool. For swap, it will take int I comma int j, sorry, I comma int j. And obviously if we, okay, So here also, if we see less, so we want to sort it in order. So what we can do is we will return e dot. For example, we have a specific structure I, and how does it sort? So you can see slice of person by age. Oh, I don't remember it exactly. We are going to waste our time trying to understand it. Let's skip it and go back to our C program, emp.c. So here we understood now we have to create a compare function, and that will take two elements. We will convert into that specific pointer, and then our sort function will work absolutely fine. So now let's move further. We are able to understand how can we sort in code. So we can create different sort function. Maybe you want to sort on the basis of something else. You can totally do that. So they are sorting on the basis of rectangle area. They are sorting on the basis of width. Well, there can be anything on which you want to sort, and we see that also. It is fine. Now try writing your own example code, and we have written that. And now I don't understand the comparator function for the array of strings. What does char pointer means? So array of string. Each item in a string array is a character pointer. When qsort calls the comparator function, it sends pointer to two elements in the array. That means the comparator receives two pointers to carry in C notation. Each value is a character pointer. I think they have some example here for it. Hmm. So character, they're creating a string of array of strings. Now they want to sort it. Compare names, and here compare names. They're sorting on the basis of names. And have we written there something compare names? Compare score description and compare names. Size of character pointer, and the size is 4. Remember, an array of names is just an array of pointers. So compare names, where this compare names function is. Compare names, here it is. Oh, I saw it somewhere. Compare names. So what they are doing is a string is a pointer to a character. So the pointers you are given are pointer to pointers. Okay. So what they have done is compare names. So there is a string comparison. This is a bit tedious to understand. Well, let's try to implement it, only then we can understand. Unless we don't understand. So we have compare. Now we will create a compare based on names. Okay, int comp names, and here also const void pointer to ELE1, and then const void pointer to ELE2. Okay, then here emp we will know emp1 equal to, but what we are trying to pass here is pointer to pointer. So I don't think it will matter for us. I don't know what sort of implementation they have done, but we are just um, converting it to a pointer of structure emp ele2. So now what we are going to return is str cmp, and we are going to pass emp1 comma emp1 dot name comma emp2 dot name, and string comparison. For that we will use hash include string dot h. Okay, now rather than uh, compare, we can pass comp names. I think it will sort based on the lexicographic order. So that means it will first ABC P coder poor stream. Okay, coder poor stream. GCC our file name emp.c dash o emp, then emp coder poor stream. Okay, let's do one thing. uh t, okay. Now poor stream toder must be the output. Poor stream toder. So I think what they have done is they have tried to sort on the basis of names directly. But they have to sort a character array of string. But what we have done is we have string inside a specific structure, and we are what we are doing. We are passing the structure itself to the compare function, and then converting, casting that specific pointer to a void to that specific structure, and then comparing that. What they are doing is they are passing pointer of array of strings. So for that we have to create a different thing. Let me print here array of string. Okay, so here components, let's shift it back to company, no sorry, compare, and array of strings. And then what we are creating a character pointer to names, and let's assume name is character pointer is a string. We are doing here is, and for example first name is ak p no cd, and then dp. So these are the names, output way a, b, and c. Okay, now what we are going to do, let me punch this code a little bit up. We are passing it to qsort. First will be a names, second will be the size of length of the array, which is 3, and then um, the size of a string. And how can we find it? Size of character pointer, yeah, obviously size of pointer to a character. And then we are going to pass our comp names. Okay, then we can int I equal to 0, iterate over I less than 3, I plus plus. Then we can put names I. Okay, now we have to change this function a bit. So now we have to understand here what we are passing now. Each element, earlier it was a pointer to a void, and we have to convert that to a pointer to a struct. So if we think uh, it like, first we are going to convert it to a character pointer, CLE1 character pointer, and character pointer is basically a string. So pointer to a character is a string, but we have to understand we are not passing a string, we are passing a pointer to a string. And here we are going to get that value, and here what we are going to do is character pointer name1 equal to, okay. Now yank this, paste this, change it to 2, change it to 2. Okay, now we are going to pass to cr string compare. So earlier what was I was passing the string compare function directly a string. So name1 name2. So I have written a code like this. I don't understand what he has done. Okay, what I have done it but differently, and it has compiled successfully. And now when I run it, AKBPCD, so it is working fine, absolutely working fine. I don't know what he has written here. I literally don't understand, but we can simply understand what we have done. So ELE, what is ELE? It is a pointer to any number. Now what we are going to do is we have a array of string. What is means array of string? A single string is a pointer to a character. So we are not passing a pointer to a character, we are a pointer to a string. So that's why it means it is a pointer to a string. Character pointer to a string. Then we are getting the value of that specific address, and it is a pointer to a character. It will point to the first character. It will point to the first character. Then we will pass the string compare pointer to the first character, pointer to the first character, because that is a string. It will go automatically to the backslash d0 and try to get the value from it, whole value of the string from it. That is a simple concept. So, do I have paint? So, what we are going to do is we have an array of strings. First string, second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string. Okay, and each string has some array characters in it. Similarly here, similarly here, similarly here. Okay, when we use char pointer, that means it is pointing to. Let's take a curve. That means it is pointing to this. Okay, and when we take char pointer, that means it is pointing to this. Okay, when we take a character pointer, it means it is pointing to this specific address. When we take character pointer, it is pointing to this. When we increment this, it will go to this. Then it will go to this, and it will go to this until and unless we reach backslash 0. Okay, sentinel character. If we increment this, it will go to this. Then it will go to this. Then it will go to this. Then it will go to this. This is what we have to understand. This is the basic difference. And now what we are passing in that specific function, compare function, what we are passing is we are passing an array of string. So we are passing this specific value, this. That means character pointer. So that's why when we write, we're passing an array of string, and that's why when we have to convert that ELE1, we will not convert it to pointer to. We will convert it to pointer to ELE1. We will convert it to this specific element. Now we have this specific element. So we have this specific string. Now what we want is the address of the first element. That's why we will use it. And this will become pointer to a character name1 equal to, and this is similar to what we wrote there. This is similar to what we wrote there. Pointer to character pointer, really one. Same thing, same thing. Understood? And similar for the second, similar for the. Now, when we try to pass to string comparisons, strcmp, it takes a string. And what is a string? Pointer to a character. So we pass a name1, we pass name2, and the elements are sorted. We don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now, let's move on. Automating the Dear John letters. Imagine you are writing a mail merge program to send out different type of messages to different people. Let me close the paint. Okay. Uh, Mail merge program to send out different type of messages to different people. One way to create a data for each response is a struct like this. enum response type, dump second chance marriage. Okay, and the enum response type is of a specific type, name, and the response. Enums give you the name of each of the three types of response you will be sending. Hmm, okay, void dump response, void second chance response, okay, void marriage response. Okay, now what it wants to do, switch, case, dump, break, what is it? Looping through the array, testing the field type each time, correct response for each time. The variables will be called replies, and it's not a function pointer, it's whole array of them. Okay, a bit complicated. So here, uh, earlier we were using only a specific function pointer, but now they have created pointer, but array of function pointers. Okay, so earlier I used to have this confusion between how to create pointers and array of pointers. I still don't know. Pointer to an array or array of pointers. So if we see here, we are creating an array of pointers, array of character pointers. It is simple. What is a pointer to an array? I don't know. And this is also a function pointer is a whole array of them. Array of pointers. Array of pointers. Array. I don't understand, but it's not just a function pointer. Whole array of them. So we are creating an array of pointers. Array of pointers. Dump second chance marriage. Dump second chance marriage function. Here what we are doing. This is an array of string. Array of string means array of character pointers. Array of character pointers. And what what is it here? It is also of array of function pointers. Okay. So a bit confusing. If reply second chance is equal to second chance, okay, then second chance has the value. Okay, confusing, bit confusing. Okay, maybe uh, I am tired a little bit. Maybe tomorrow or later I can go ahead and try to understand this on my own, and then I can come back and see what I can help with this uh, array of function pointers. Okay, so thank you guys. Today's stream was only 40 minutes, but still I learned a lot about how can we use comparators to sort our own structure types. I will go through this once and we'll try to understand. So maybe in the next session we can have a better look at it. So thank you everyone.